share something totally counterintuitive, and I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth. The horse, in this case, is Steve Anderson, who goes around speaking to companies about something that he knows a lot about, and that is...
Well, insurance and risk management and technology and how all that works together.
All right, but the key word in what you just said is risk. Now, you were in the insurance industry for what, like 35 years?
I've been in the insurance industry that long and focusing on helping businesses actually manage and reduce the risks they face.
Basically avoid risk if they could.
Absolutely.
Right. And now you're here to tell them to...
increase the risks. Seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Well, it not only seems, it is counterintuitive. So tell us why you're saying this.
Well, Joel, I think you'd agree with me. Technology is changing faster than anything today.
Even faster than I might prefer, but go ahead.
And I think there are a lot of people that feel the way you do. In fact, a lot of business owners. But things are changing faster than they ever have. Mm-hmm. The problem is, for a business to stay successful, to become even more successful, mm-hmm. they've got to innovate. Mm-hmm. But what do you need to innovate?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
Take more chances. Mm-hmm. Take risks.
Right.
Fail.
Ooh.
CEOs face the idea of we got to minimize risk when
right.
in fact to be successful and grow, they've got to increase risk so that they can find out what works and what doesn't work.
It's basically innovate or die. True?
True.
The only way you're going to innovate is by taking risks.
And failing.
Right. Yet every cell of themselves is risk averse.
Absolutely.
That's a dilemma.
Isn't it? They pay lip service to innovation mm-hmm. because in reality, their culture in their company actually punishes failure. Well, you can't have innovation without failure, but you can't allow people to fail without encouraging them.
Right.
So I have the question for companies, what's your bonus program for a successful failure? You're laughing.
Do they love you or do they run from you?
Here's what company says. You can innovate, but you better be right. Mm-hmm. So they actually, in their culture, punish that movement forward.
How would you change the culture of a corporation so that it was truly innovation friendly, including risk friendly? That's part A. How would you change the culture? Mm-hmm.
So one thing Google did early on is they had what they called 20% time. Every employee could take 20% of their time on the job to work on projects and could be massive failures. But what they learned from it. Now they had structure around that. They had to report back.
Right.
What did we learn? And it's not taking stupid risks. How do you balance risk taking without putting the company out of business?
What would you have said to BlackBerry?
Well, I tell you, BlackBerry is just such an interesting example of a leadership, CEOs, mm-hmm. when they heard about this new thing called an iPhone, all glass, nobody's going to want all glass. How are you going to type on glass? Right, because what did BlackBerry mm-hmm. have? A thumb board.
Right.
Tactile, you could feel the keys.
Yep.
And a lot of people loved it.
And I proudly never had one.
I didn't either, but a lot of people did.
I know.
And I still talk to people who say, boy, I wish I had my BlackBerry back. They didn't understand what changed when Steve Jobs made that. Now, here's the other interesting side. Apple. We talk about BlackBerry, but what about Apple? Mm-hmm. They took a huge risk. No one had ever seen a phone just glass. And they put music on that phone. So they cannibalized their iPod, hugely successful. You think that was a risk for them to take and innovate? But they took it, measured, they tested, they did all the things that you should. One didn't, one did.
Right.
Where's BlackBerry?
I don't know, which I think answers
the question. Where's Apple?
Right.
One of the most valuable companies
But
today.
on the other hand, if they're going to continue to innovate, it's like political revolution. Sometimes the one that leads the revolution is not the one to lead the government once the new country is established.
And that's one of the key ideas here is that perhaps the worst thing that can happen to a company is become successful. Mm-hmm. Because then what do they have to do? Protect what got them there versus becoming successful, but even as they're becoming successful in one area, looking at how they're going to replace their successful product with the next one.
You're asking a lot of interesting questions. I hope more and more CEOs welcome you into the space. I have enjoyed welcoming you onto the show.
It's been a pleasure talking with you.